Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans, and of course, good old Atlanta Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan back. Uh Talking Atlanta Falcons football. You already know what it is. You already know what to do, man. T Will from ATL Sports. Miss Carrie. One time for the
Hold
fan
on.
checking in. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, and all that other stuff, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Falcons, keeping us content creators busy, with some of the reports we've heard over the past couple of days here from Mr. Raheem Morris and of course the rest of the Falcons crew over there. And before we get to that, let's get to our group here, our panel, our good set of co-hosts. Miss Carrie, how is everything going for you, ma'am, down there in Florida? I think are you muted, Carrie?
Rookie mistake. Sorry. Yeah, I'm muted. Yeah, I'm doing good. Can't complain. Happy to be here. Happy to talk Falcons with you guys. And yeah, it's getting hot. It's almost summertime. It's low 80s today, nice and sunny. Tempted to go crash the party down there in Palm Beach with the NFL owners and coaches and Raheem and Arthur blank. But
That's that Florida life for you right there. I mean, everybody wants to vacation in Florida. They want to hang out, party out there. Where? In Florida, of course. So, big shout out to Miss Carrie checking in one time for the fan. Timba, one of the hardest working podcasters in the game right now. How is everything going for you, sir? I know you had a show earlier too, as well. If you want to let us know about that, and of course, how has your week been going for you, sir?
Week has been going great. I have no complaints. We had the show with Mr. Scott Karisic, football extraordinaire. It went great. We went through some defenses and just, whatever. We went through defenses and assignments and stuff like that. Did, I think, one mock draft. It was great, man. It was cool. Looking forward to tonight's show. And, yeah, man, looking forward to talking some Falcons.
That's good. That's good. Well, before we start talking some Falcons, a big shout out to everybody over there with the Rise Up Tour fan club. We're always doing some big things, and not only during the season when the Falcons play, of course, on the road, but the off season too as well, and in the community. We have an event coming up here with the Rise Up Tour fan club, with the city of Forest Park. So big shout out to them and Free Wishes Foundation, teaming up to bring you the ultimate spring fest. They had the experience. T Will, we're not going to go into it like we did last time because we took it a little bit extra last time. If
That's a
you remember.
little extreme, Jack.
Already, there we go. Big shout out to Shit. Big shout out to everybody over there at the Rise Up Tour fan club. You can see it right here on the screen. April 19th, 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. The egg hunt starts at 3 p.m. for all ages. Bouncy House is going to be out there. Mechanical Bull is going to be out there for all you boots on the ground, for all you boots on the ground folks. Horseback riding, game truck, face painting, delicious food. Man, it's going down. Vendors going to be out there too as well. Once again, the egg hunts from 3 p.m. For kids 12 and under. Now, we said this before last time. I know some of y'all gonna be out there trying to get them Easter eggs, knowing that you ain't 12 years old. We don't want to have the security escort you out now. I'm telling you right now. We don't want to have security or City of Forest Park police escort you out now. I'm telling you. 12 and under for the Easter egg hunt. How old you gotta be, Terry, for the Easter egg hunt?
12 and under.
12 and under, Falcon fans. But come on out. It's going to be a great time. April 19th, at Kiwanis Stadium. Come on out. If you want to come help volunteer with the Rise Up Tour fan club, hit me up right here on One Time for the Fan or in the chat. Say, hey, I would love to volunteer for that event too as well. We're going to be pretty deep out there. It's going to be a lot of Falcon fans out there. You can wear your Falcons gear if you want to as well. Bring the football, bring your tailgate stuff. Come hang out, play some spades. If you got a little drink on you, bring a little drink. We're going to hang out, have a good time. April 19th from 12 to 5 p.m. Falcon fans and all you diehard travelers that lets to go on the road too as well. The Rise Up Tour fan club is always doing big things. So please head over to the Rise Up Tour fanclub.com. We talked about it already with the away games. We're playing in Indianapolis, New York, New England, Arizona, San Francisco, New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa. So we got some pretty cool games this year. I know a lot of fans are interested in going to some of these away games. You guys kind of seen already what we've done in the past. So head on over to the Rise Up Tour fan club. So you guys can go ahead and get some information about the memberships, 2025 memberships, and of course the spring fest at the City of Forest Park. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Now you good here. Let's see here. Chat is live. Chat is lit. Let's do some housekeeping before we start talking some Falcons. You know we love to go. You know we love talking with the fans. One time for the fan is from the fan for the fan. So Terry, if y'all can help me out here on this chat.
I know it's going down in a major way, Jack. I know that. I know the chat is live. The chat is lit. We got Deke. We in here like swimwear.
Hey, Deke.
Deke Ruffin in the chat. Deshaun Coswell's in the chat.
Deshaun, what up, my functional?
Don't come in here starting something, Deshaun. Don't come in here starting.
Hell nothing. Yeah, start it, Deshaun. Start it up.
We do the roast fest on T-Will's channel.
I love it. Hell no. We're doing on this one too. Start it up, Deshaun. Don't let it stop you. Start it up, Deshaun.
Family.
Don't let him do it.
Get some. Big shout out to Deshaun. Said music trivia, Carrie, on the song Love by Music Soul Child. What was the original song title name? Carrie, this seems like
this seems like a T Will.
Yeah, T Will, that's right. T Will's been hanging out in those clubs back in those
really?
I thought it was Love. You got me there, buddy. You got me there. I guess you're gonna have to drop it on us, Deshaun.
On the song Love by Music Soul Child, what was the original song?
I thought it was Love.
Name.
I didn't even know there was an original. I thought that was just, it was called Love.
Yeah. I honestly thought it was just Love. It was the stuff. See, A1 Forever's in the chat. One time for the one time.
A1, what it do, brother?
Big shout out to A1 in the chat.
A1 from day one. What it do, man?
Oh boy, DSGB Hall said Falcon fans, and of course, Falcon fans. Big shout out to DSGB Hall. The West Coast crew is checking in. Hit that like, hit that share. First time here, hit that subscribe. Head over to YouTube. Facebook, folks, head over to YouTube now. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Lisa Shepard is in the chat too as well. Big shout out to Lisa Shepard.
Lisa!
Sullivan is in the chat.
I'm with Lisa. She said that trivia is too hard. We don't know music like that.
Sheesh. I mean, some of us might not know Music Soul Child like that. You know, now if you ask a Kendrick Lamar,
I literally was thinking that. Like,
yeah, I'm sure Carrie would be all over that one right there. Sullivan's in the chat. Benny Smith is in the chat.
Benny!
Big shout out to Benny Smith in the chat. Tyreek Johnson is in the chat too as well. What's up, fellas? Big shout out to Tyreek Johnson. Karina Atkins is in the chat. Rise Up Tour fan club, and of course, Atlanta Falcon diehard fan. I'm talking about
God
diehard
the title,
man. Diehard. What was it? Was it
God?
God?
What? Yeah. Good one. Music Soul Child. Good way to change that title, buddy.
I didn't know that one. Didn't know that one. Well, Deshaun's back with the music trivia, and he stomped us again. So
real quick, while we're on music, real quick, I already know T Will's answer. I have to ask you, Jack, Brandy or Monica?
Oh shit! Well, I mean, Monica. Come on.
Oh, thank you, T Will. You're outnumbered.
Come on, it's for the A, man.
Me, Miss Kim, and Jackson.
It's all about Brandy. Thank you, Lisa.
It's for the
That's
A.
why I rock with you, Lisa.
It's for the A.
It's all about Brandy.
It's for the A. Karina Atkins says she will be there April 19th volunteering too as well. Big shout out to Karina Atkins. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring everybody out. All your Falcon buddies. These are the cool events, you know, these Spring Fest and Rise Up Tour fan club events in the off season that you can get a chance to put on your Falcons gear and come hang out with other Falcon fans. Like, we take it out of the podcast, and of course, one time for the fan, you know what we do here. But with the Rise Up Tour fan club, I'm not broadcasting live over there, so you guys see us over there in another Falcon light. But we got our jerseys on. We're more in tune with the season, traveling, what city we're going to. You know, that's big for us because most of us are season ticket holders anyway. We're going to be in the Benz every home game. We know that. I might not see Karina Atkins at the home game. As big as a Falcon fan Karina is, and a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan Karina is, I might not see her at the home game. But on the road, I will see Karina. I know, I guarantee you, I will see Kareem on the road. And that's how it is when you go travel to these away games. You want to be around a large group of Falcon fans. With the Rise Up Tour fan club having over 1,000 members in that group, I mean, it's crazy how just people move around. And we travel to these cities. And this year, San Francisco's coming up. That's gonna be a big city. But Arizona, if you wasn't there a couple years ago, T-Will, I told you about what happened in Arizona last time. If you wasn't there a couple years ago, we went to Arizona. Man, fan club went crazy. Fan club went crazy. The party at Carousel, Pastor Troy had over 400 folks in the building. Then the tailgate the following morning too as well. $40, all you can eat, all you can drink.
I know
Man,
Brandy's voice is amazing, Jack.
Huh?
I know Brandy's voice is amazing. I know that. And Lisa says that Full Moon is her favorite. And I love Full Moon, but Brandy had some other songs that I love.
I'm sorry.
I need to add that da-doom on the
You're
soundboard.
You're not convincing us. You're outnumbered. Jack, me, and Miss Kim versus you.
T-Will, this is like me with the well done steak. You're outnumbered on this one. I'm sorry.
I am not outnumbered. I need all my Brandy folks to show up out there, okay?
A need said
they
Brandy.
got me hemmed up in the corner.
Deshaun, okay, look, we'll do this quickly. Brandy, Monica in the chat for T-Will. Alicia Shepard said Brandy.
Oh wow, Deshaun, he has no chill.
Hater.
They need Brandy.
Deshaun is a hater.
It's not even about her head. It's more so about her brother. No, I'm kidding. I can't stand her brother.
Her brother is an asshole.
I can't stand her brother. He's annoying, but
big shout out to the Dixon Way too as well. He is live doing the Hawks play-by-play recap too as well. So Falcon fans, as Hawks fans too as well, you get over to the Dixon Way because they're over there talking Atlanta Hawks too as well. Hawks, Braves, Falcons. Dixon Way is a diehard fan of the city. Atlanta sports. Quentin Lavender's in the chat. Big shout out to Quentin Lavender. A1 Forever Sports. Monica, come on.
Thank you, Chris.
Monica. Ray 50's in the chat. Which I got? Monica or Brandy? Which I got?
Monica.
Millie Mills is in the chat. Big shout out to Millie Mills. We're trying to catch up to the chat so we can talk some Falcons football. Dan Burst, you know Falcons football. I mean, you know music, man. You're a DJ, man. Monica or Brandy, Dan Burst. Come on, man. What's up? One time for the one time.
No disrespect to Brandy, because they said in the chat, she has a beautiful voice. It's just, not only is Monica from Atlanta, but I love her just because of, how like certain songs, or like you can play the song and it just reminds you of that time in your life. Like it just takes you back no matter what, just certain songs. I just never
connected too much to Brandy's songs like that. I don't know if it was just,
Monica's songs
messing it up, or
I can think of about 10 Brandy songs.
Yeah, I mean, most people grew up on some of those times. Boys II Men, Brandy. I mean, there's great artists back in those times. I mean, let's not.
Not that I don't like Monica, I do. I just prefer Brandy.
Yeah, but I'm not throwing no shade to her Brandy's way. Like, she's a great artist. No, Monica too as well. No, I just prefer Monica. On my side. That's how it is.
Same.
Texas boy in the house.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Georgia, Texas boy in the chat. I'm from ATL, but Brandy's vocals are different. That is true. I mean, she does have a voice.
Just different.
She does have a voice.
They're just different. The man just said it right there. They're just different.
Yeah.
Georgia Texas says, what happening then one time for the fan, Jack T. Will Carey and Falcons family. The new era is here. Let's freaking go. The Falcons will rise in 2025 and beyond. I don't know about you, Jack. I'm ready to go hit somebody.
Wow.
Do you have the shoulder pads nearby, Terry?
I'm ready to go hit somebody on aisle 7 in Kroger right now. Let's go.
That's tough.
Point out the Panthers fan. Let's go.
Dan Burst is in the chat. I have to go Brandy only because she's a better live performer.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Dan.
Look at my boy DSGB Hall said we don't even like Brandy, but
I do like Moesha. I do like Moesha. That's so funny.
That's tough.
I love that show.
Georgia Texas boy. He said if you playing linebacker, T-Will, he said put him at box safety, man. He said he's taking over what Richie Grant can do, man. Big shout out to Georgia Texas boy.
I got you, Georgia Texas boy. I got you.
T-Will, what can we do? I think we could talk some Atlanta Falcons football here, right?
Let's talk some Falcons, man. Let's get into it. Chat is to quote the very great Jack Spade. Chat is live. Chat is lit. It's going down in a major way. Let's go.
All right,
Falcons.
So
what you got?
Let's see where we can start out here. Let's see. Oh, we got Carrie with us. This is great. And we have time. What
Carrie.
would Carrie want to talk about?
Oh gosh, not the Mountain Dew.
Let's see.
Harry
No,
acts
Carrie wants to
different when he
talk
has Mountain Dew.
about Kirk Cousins,
Gosh,
Oh, you got
right? And we have to go back
oh,
NFL
this dude.
owner
not
players
Kirk
coaches
again.
meeting.
Why we
You know,
gotta start here, bro?
every year it goes down in the NFL, and of course, Falcons journalists and people who follow the team, follow the team closely, get a chance to report on what's going on around. I'm about to go ahead and close this banner for you.
What would be
What's
worse
going on
right now,
around, you know?
Jack, to talk about the winless Braves or to talk about Kirk Cousins?
Ow! Oh man,
Oh,
that hurt.
Hey,
it's
don't do
just
that.
Oh,
it's bad
Carrie,
right
Carrie.
now, and I'm like, dang, which one's worse to talk about? Because man, the Braves too.
Carrie, we
Oh,
came here to
God.
talk
gotta
about the
warn us
Falcons.
before
Do not
firing
bring the
one of those
winless
off
Braves
here.
into this. All right.
I know I got to
Do
tune
not.
into T. Will and John from Out of Your Fucking Mind show to talk Braves for sure.
That hurt, man.
That is tough.
A1 said the same thing. Ouch, Carrie. That one hurt,
I'm
man.
sorry,
Yeah.
it's on my mind. Like I literally, when I woke up this morning, opened Twitter. I sent it to you guys. The screenshot. It was like the big A, like the big Braves symbol, and it said Braves are 0-6. Like what? Ugh, they lost last night. I fell asleep.
The Braves are off to a bad start right now. They're the only team in the MLB without a win right now.
Yeah,
But
we
of course,
celebrate.
the good thing about MLB, about baseball is it's not like college football. I mean, there's still like a lot of games left to play. They're playing one of their hardest schedules early in the season. So to play the Padres, to play the Dodgers,
Very tough.
those are two very powerful teams in the NL. And right now, they have to get
Don't
back
we?
to a lot. Pitching has to get back on track. Batting, hitting has to get back on track.
Back
They're
on.
getting beat on
Hitting never
all
started.
phases.
Hitting never
Yeah.
started.
I mean, just
Wait.
talking about what they did from last year and years before. Like
Yeah.
this has been a slow start for the Braves, probably the worst in their history. But there is hope for you Braves fans. I know y'all want to talk Falcons football, and Kirk Cousins
Yeah, let's
is,
talk
is, is
about
on
it.
everybody's mind too as well. You see it right here. Dear Orlando Ledbetter reporting from the NFL owners meeting that Arthur Blank talked to Kirk Cousins on the phone, took 5 pages of notes. We'll go straight to it because we have a lot to talk about from the NFL coaches meeting too as well out there in Florida. Let's go Kirk Cousins here because there's reports now. We're going to get to the Diana Rossini, I think that's her name, report that Kirk Cousins could possibly end up in Cleveland. So that's going to be pretty interesting how there's now NFL journalists covering this type of stuff, saying that there's a possibility that he could end up in Cleveland. We've been talking about it here about what teams could possibly go after Kirk during this whole quarterback free agency, transaction move period. A lot of quarterbacks have been going to different teams. You got Geno Smith playing with the Raiders now. Sam Darnold's with Seattle. Russell Wilson's with the Giants. So we was kind of figure out where could Kirk Cousins end up. Aaron Rodgers having the private workout, or I don't know, public private workout apparently with DK Metcalf shows that he's probably going to be with the Steelers. They were pretty much, buddied up at the end of their throwing session, apparently. And you look around the NFL and you think, where could Kurt end up? A lot of fans were probably talking about it before even joining the chat or even talking about it on One Time for the Fan. We narrowed down Cleveland. Matter of fact, Kerry, there was reports even last season that Cleveland would be one of the teams to go after Kirk Cousins because Deshaun Watson had went down, and they kind of figured, well, they got to make a move in the draft and go after a rookie, or if Kevin Stefanski wants to go after a guy that he's familiar with, you got Kirk Cousins. You see what the Falcons situation is with Kurt. Kurt said he wants to be a starter. Teams around the NFL, I mean, you can see there's not too many starting positions open. The Browns have a starting position open right now for Kirk Cousins, unless they decide to go, in the draft with a rookie quarterback. People are speculating if the Browns go take Abdul Carter from Penn State, that they're probably going to go after Kurt in the draft. Kurt mentioning earlier this offseason too as well that he wants to wait until the draft to see. It's just a lot going on here, Kerry. And
it's all about Kirk. Isn't that sick?
Wow.
Or as our friend Lisa likes to say, Karen Cousins.
Sheesh, not Karen Cousins. That's tough.
I think
your
it's
thoughts,
fitting.
Kerry T. Will, on this Kirk Cousins situation where we are today. I'm gonna pull up some more notes about the Kirk Cousins situation too, because they were talking about it at the NFL, owners meeting. But T. Will, just your thoughts, Carrie, your thoughts on this?
You can go.
Let's let Miss Carrie go first.
I mean, everyone knows how I feel about the situation at this point. I am like literally so over it. For me, it's clear as day. Kirk Cousins is not going to be a backup. He's not going to be the most expensive backup ever in the league for the Atlanta Falcons in 2025. There's probably a 0.05 chance that he will be in a Falcons uniform next season as the backup quarterback. I truly don't believe that's going to happen. I think if anything, maybe he would sit out if he got stuck here. But I truly think at that point, if he really realizes he would be stuck here, he would maybe then finally waive his no trade clause and get traded. But yes, King Richie, I do have a whole attitude. I don't even have an attitude. That's the thing. Like, I don't even have an attitude, but Kirk Cousins brings out the attitude. But yeah, I know if we trade him post June 1 designation, then we save $27 million in cap space for this season. So obviously it's all about the logo. It's all about the Falcons, and we're strapped for cash. Any way that we could save money, I'm about it. So he maybe could get traded draft night. I mean, that would be kind of spicy and exciting. That would be, that would make me happy because that's sooner. But I truly think Kirk, like has been reported, he's waiting to see how the dominoes fall. He doesn't want to go somewhere again, third time a charm, and they draft a quarterback after he signs for them. He's just not trying to do that. So, yeah, I think I just pray that we don't cut him. I hope that we really do trade with the Browns for him. I did see a report today that the Browns and the Giants at this time are likely not going to take quarterbacks, allegedly. So that makes me feel good that we have a chance to trade Kirk to Cleveland, especially with him being there recently for whatever reason, So
T. Will, Arthur Blank speaking with Kirk Cousins for an hour on the phone, or probably an hour or some change. This is another meeting between Kirk and Mr. Blank. The talks between Kirk and Raheem and Terry. And not getting too much news about that, but he seems to be wanting to talk to Mr. Blank about getting this situation taken care of. Terry, as you talked about it. There seems to be a fallout there. So we're just gonna lay the cards on the table. Falcons at this point, from what you heard from Raheem and Arthur Blank this past couple days, a trade should be in play, right? You should be trying to do the best you can to get Kirk up out of here. I mean, you can talk about, Kirk could be a stand-up guy and not probably show up to, voluntary OTAs, and he's going to be a good, if he could be a good backup, if he's, still here during the summer. Fans ain't trying to hear that. What we heard this past couple days is there should be a trade in play with Kirk Cousins somewhere down the line.
For the first time, right?
Get Kirk out of here. Yeah,
I think it's the first time they've come out and actually said that was a possibility. Before it was just like, nope, we're comfortable with them being the backup. Now they're actually verbally saying, if it works out that way, we could trade him.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. T. Will, guess your thoughts on it. I know you've been talking Falcons football for the past couple of days. Just your thoughts on this Kirk Cousins saga.
What was the lesson? I mean, at this point, I mean, this thing is ugly. It could go on. What was the point? Like if you're Raheem, and I'm pretty sure they didn't tell Kirk they were drafting somebody.
I mean, we went back to that night when he was driving home from the Benz. Remember, I think it was Eric Parker. Who was there? A couple people saw him kind of get rushed out. Like before the pick was made, he was taking pictures, and then he dipped out. And then the report was he was heading home in his car, and then they called him and told him about the pick. And maybe that kind of kind of hit him early the wrong way.
I think it definitely started the relationship in bad faith. I think the other part of this is At some point, Kirk is going to have to look at it. I think Kirk is going to regret this.
Mhm.
I do. Ultimately, because we all have egos, right? I'm past the point of judgment. I'm tired of it all. At the end of the day, nobody really comes out the victor here. If you're Raheem, you better not release him. Like, you can't. If you've gone this far and paid him $10 million just to release him, you go ahead and get those papers ready, buddy. You got
It's $10 million more and you've already paid him 90.
Correct.
And the reason why he did that in Raheem's defense is hoping and praying you can somehow recoup some of this money by trading him, because if they trade him, we could save 27.5 million. So that almost makes up for the 10 million. That doesn't affect the books till 2026.
No, I get it. I'm just saying you can't release him now. So whatever happens, if you don't make a trade, Kirk's probably going to have to be ready to sit out at the end of the day, because let's game this out. If there is no trade,
you don't want that move to happen, so you have to get him up out of here. But then the question comes, who's the backup after Kirk Cousins?
You don't. But if you can't find a partner to dance with, you're just going to have to keep him and not pay him. Again, I'm looking at worst case scenarios here, right? Because I don't think either party is looking at this. I don't think either party is looking at worst case scenarios, be it the Falcons or Kirk Cousins. Kirk just wants out of here. And to me, Kirk has really, really, really shown a side that is negative. And really, he's not shown leadership qualities. Everything that Kirk has done could have been done by his agent. You pay your agent to be your advocate. You pay your agent, excuse me for saying this, to be an asshole if need be. If the situation calls for it, that's why you pay your agent. Kirk never had to go on GMA and do that. That was personal. I'm mad because you guys drafted this, and I'm gonna do this to get you back. And the more you continue to do this, the smaller you look to be. Kirk doesn't look like a leader right now. Kirk looks like an imposter. Kirk, there's a thing, right? If we all have bosses. We all work with bosses, right? If you're at work with your boss right now and your boss is talking, we're all going to listen because your boss is the boss, right? Everybody's listening. Everybody's paying attention. If a fire breaks out, however, and it's life or death, people are going to listen to the leader. And sometimes that's not the same person, right? What Kirk has shown is that in no way is he a leader. In no way is he a leader. You know what? You can say all of the right things. You can put out positive sayings. You can be seen doing the right things. But when the rubber meets the road, what are you made of?
Are you sure? Because Arthur Blank said yesterday that he's a gentleman. He has a great heart, a great spirit. I mean, him and Raheem were saying all the great things, all the things.
It's just like he's talking to Matt Ryan again. Remember I told you about that?
Well, look it. I mean, I'm not going to begrudge Arthur for saying nice things about him. I get it. I'm not saying that. But I have lost every little bit of respect that I had for Kirk Cousins.
Sure.
Because, again, a lot of this stuff you didn't have to do. You didn't have to do. You could have let your agent fight this battle, but you were so arrogant. You thought because you went on Good Morning Football that you were going to get your way.
Well, I'm not going to defend Kirk at all because you already know I hate the situation. I'm not a fan of his even more than you, but I guess from his perspective, how do you know that his agent didn't recommend that he do that? Because you're trying to put a PSA to the world like, hey, I can still play quarterback.
In that situation, I think he probably would have talked to his agent and said, hey, I'm about to go speak to Good Morning Football.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. My agent is not my father. My agent did not raise me. I did not get my morals from my agent. If my agent told me to go outside and pull my pants down to show my ass, I'm not going to do it. No. And I'm not directing that at you, Carrie. I'm saying
I know, but
the principles that I have, I don't give a damn what my agent says. I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm going to do what fits within my moral compass.
Right, and you don't think that Kirk thought that doing that was what was best for him? I think he completely thought that was the best move for him.
I think
As much as I disagree with it, I think he was being greedy.
I think Kirk is a sellout, and Kirk will do whatever it does for him. That's what this has shown me.
Yeah.
What this has shown me is I wouldn't be surprised if you did see Kirk pull his back. It wouldn't surprise me because you know what? You'll do anything. Kirk will do anything for $1. You'll do anything. You'll do anything to start. And I'm
Not something
$1
actually.
I won't. No. My self-respect is worth more than anything. Carrie can't give me self-respect. Jack can't give me self-respect. Nobody in this chat can give me self-respect, and nobody can make me do something that's gonna. That Kirk disrespected himself. He disrespected the Atlanta franchise. I have no respect for him because I'm not gonna get out. There's certain things. Myself, Jack, Carrie, Bodie, we have conversations every day. We have conversations that will never see the light of day because of the confidence that we have in each other. What do I look like going out here to the world and say, "Oh, Jack said this"? Oh, you can't replace that. You don't come back from that, Jack. Kirk turns state's evidence. You're gonna go out here and be like, "Well, I really wasn't hurt." Well, then why did you say so, Kirk? You went along with it when it benefited you. You went along with it.
And it comes off of like information, not to cut you off too. It comes off of information like just how communication, people trusting each other. I've told Carrie and Terry things that I wouldn't say on air.
Right.
And it's not a miss. It's been a hit. It's not a miss.
And they will
just
never
like
hear
out of respect too as well.
But I'm saying when you do that, Jack, you did like that is so foul. Above everything else, if you agree to something, if myself and Carrie and Jack and Bodie all agree and we say we're going to do XYZ, we had a situation like that. You guys remember the show, and I'm not going to say what it was, but we all agreed, okay, we got to do this because of this. If I went out and talked about that, you guys would have every right to punch me in the teeth. And all I'm saying is Kirk has violated that over and over again. I don't think the man has a genuine bone in his body, and he is dangerous because he is the type of person that will look you straight in your face and lie and look good doing it. He is dangerous. I want nothing to do with him, and I wish him well, but I just to me to take that when you talk about a football locker room, Jack, that is sacred. That is sacrosanct. There is nothing more. The bond of men, right? When you take a secret that's in there and you do it for yourself, Jack, for yourself, you're already getting the money. So what are you doing it for? Your ego?
I think it's just desperation at this point.
No, whatever it is, there's no excuse, Carrie.
He doesn't want to.
I'm looking at it with the way Raheem spoke about it and Arthur Blank spoke about it this past couple of days, I think there's going to be a move made, right? I can see where we're going down to week 1, and I can say it right now just from looking at the situation. I don't think Kirk's on this roster week 1.
Me either.
Right? There's a team that's going to look at it and say, we can't wait till week 8, week 9 to put Kirk in to plug and play, right? And some teams are going to look at that, right? Don't forget the Falcons went at the Kirk because they value Kirk as a quarterback that they think could compete last season. And when they brought him in, look, who's the 3 quarterbacks? There wasn't too many quarterbacks available. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill. They could have went with just Michael Penix and just did the whole Jaden Daniels move, the Washington Commanders move. They didn't want to. I think they was looking at Zach Robinson like, you're a first-year OC. Let's help you out by getting you a veteran quarterback. We just left Matthew Stafford in LA, a veteran quarterback, right? And we went to go draft the guy that was going to be the future. They didn't. I'm just looking at last year. They did not expect. Most fans here did not expect for Kirk to play the way he did, and then Michael Penix come in. I'm sure the Falcons and Raheem and Terry's looking at it like, wow, we drafted Penix to be the future. After 2 or 3 years, when Kirk is done and he's moved on, he's probably going to retire. They didn't expect this to just blow up in their face. And
would you trust Kirk with a secret, Jack? Kerry, would you,
Huh?
if Kirk is in your locker room now, would you trust Kirk?
Well, see, that's the problem too, because the guys are getting ready to get back in the locker room shortly,
Would you
and
trust him? Would you trust him, Jack? Yes or no? Would you trust
there's some real passionate players on that team that is fighting for just more than just their job, right? They really want to bring a championship to the city. Grady was one of them. I could see
Hmm.
players speaking up in that locker room, seeing Kirk there, knowing what's going on the past couple months. But we don't want those type of problems. For me, if I'm a player in that locker room and I see up and I look up and I see him walk in, if I haven't talked to him since last season, if I was the player there before, I'm gonna have I'm gonna wonder what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Because
not gonna wonder
there's
what's going on. I'm gonna say you're the feds. Like, why are you even
shit,
here?
not the
I'm not going to
ops.
trust him.
Why
I'm
are
not.
you even here? You're
Jeez.
insane. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, why are you
I
even
mean,
here?
you think
Honestly,
about this: side
Guess
eyeing
what? As
players, like
soon as
all
he gets
53 have to
mad,
be on the same page. Like if you have players in there side eyeing each other and looking like they want to fight and scrap after practice, you can't have that in the locker room. And one guy, because of that, you know, situation last
what?
year, and of course going to Good Morning Football too as well, that could mess up this locker room. We don't want that. We need the
that's what
bond,
I've
like you
been
said, the
saying,
bond, the unity. You need that in that locker room. You can't have one problem, and this
and
is a
that's
big problem. We can't even spend time talking about Penix because we got to sit here and talk about Michael. I mean, about Kirk Cousins. Like
right.
it's
No,
wild.
yeah,
Michael Penix deserves this time to be
right.
talked about
This
in a positive way. He deserves to walk out there in OTAs, which he's probably going to be at, and he's going to do what? Show up with his team, with his offense, with his crew to get ready. Every moment for Michael Penix counts, and these moments are being taken away from him because of the Kirk Cousins thing. And did we get any Michael Penix like talk from the NFL players an owners meeting? Like, do we get anything otherwise than just Kirk Cousins? I mean, we talked about Ryan Nuzil, some other things, but
No,
like,
it
I
was
want to hear more about Michael Penix.
right.
That is the
good
You're
thing.
future.
not going to, unfortunately, and as long as Kirk Cousins is on the roster, he's overshadowing any kind of shine that Penix will have, unfortunately. And it's just because it's a good story, right? The media likes drama, so
Mm.
that's unfortunate. And I've said this on previous shows that for me, there's no way Kirk can be. I know T. Will had mentioned like, oh, Kirk could still be on the roster because he's not going to talk to the, he's, I don't remember if you actually said coward, but for lack of better words, coward. Like he's not going to, he'll basically just, act right once he knows he has to report to the team and he has to be around the players. He's going to be, act different, basically, kind of like a snake, essentially. But for me, the Falcons, they don't like disruption in the locker room ever. So they're not
Never
even going to
did.
allow that to
Never
happen.
did.
To me, if they don't get a trade, I truly believe they'll cut him because I don't think they'll take the risk of not only having this whole situation overshadow Michael Penix, but having any kind of conflict in the locker room.
We're talking about the locker room, right? We're talking about
Yeah,
the players, right? Have
yeah.
you mentioned the fans? Like what? We haven't even mentioned the fans. That's one thing you don't want. This is Terry's year to, if the Falcons are gonna, keep him long term. I mean, you have to give him the extension. But looking at Terry right now,
Mm,
you don't want this fan base, turning against the team because of one player, one decision that you could have made, you know,
right.
you know, in the off season. But if they want to go down this road with Kurt, we're going to be here to talk about it on One Time for the Fan. Now, Diana Rossini, credited NFL reporter, talked about this the other day, and this is probably the last we'll talk about Kirk Cousins. Then we'll move on. Spent 30 fucking minutes talking about Kirk Cousins already. We don't want to do this. But based on the conversation she's been hearing, wouldn't be surprised if Kirk Cousins ends up in Cleveland. Carrie, excuse me, what the hell? Carrie, Terry, we talked about this too as well on podcasts before, on One Time for the Fan. Talked about it probably on other podcasts that we've been, invited to. But just the report from Diana that it could be Cleveland, right? Now it's actually starting to hit NFL media the right way that, hey, I think it's Cleveland. Just like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson to the Giants. There's only one team we can narrow down. I mean, you can say the Titans, but are the Titans going to go after Kirk Cousins? Probably not. The one
Seems
team
like
everybody's looking at is the Cleveland Browns. Kirk recently spotted in Cleveland too as well. There was some wild report that, I mean, didn't come from an NFL journalist. A fan had reported
fans,
Kurt went
two
to
of
go
them.
see the team doctor, which is a mile away from the Chipotle. You see how fans want fans are a part of this, right? This is like detective work right here. Like, why is Kirk
Right.
down there? Oh, of course, the team doctor's a mile away from the Chipotle where Kirk was taking pictures. That's so cool that fans
So
are doing
why
that.
do you think those pictures made the light of day?
The funny thing about it is, I was wondering the same thing too. Like, this guy's at a
Wait, what
Chipotle in
what do you mean
Cleveland.
by that?
I mean, because Kirk wanted him out because Kirk is trying to drum up pressure from other teams, right? He's basically saying, oh, Cleveland is a foregone conclusion, which means it's not a foregone conclusion. Because if that's the case, why would you be advertising? Kirk is all about Kirk. You know what I mean? So Kirk probably had those pictures taken and put out there
Are
so
you
people
saying
would
Kirk is developing the Aaron Rodgers ego?
I'm saying Kirk is nefarious as
Because
food.
Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers has this throwing
wow.
session with DK Metcalf with a reporter or a photographer there taking pictures, recording it, but doesn't want it posted.
Yeah.
What is the point of taking pictures and recording it then?
Yeah, I again, man, I have no respect for the guy because I have no respect. Look, there's got to be something you won't do. I mean, it's not like the guy's destitute. It's not like the guy is not wealthy. It's not like you don't have money. It's not like you can't start, but you're so desperate. And you know what? With all of these moves and everything and all of these shadow games, God damn it, Kirk, you better win. You better win, because heaven help you if you don't.
I hope he doesn't win. No
Heaven
way.
help you if you don't. Heaven
Well,
help you if you
What
don't.
would be a win for him getting traded to the Browns? I feel like that's a win for
About
both
on the
of
field.
us.
I'm talking about on the field. You better win on the field. If you do all of this shit and you go 5-11 and you
Not my problem. Not my problem. Unless they're playing the Falcons, I don't care. Not my problem.
and you suck big donkey hooters next, like you're done. You did all of this for what? You know what I mean? I mean, again, it's all in the way you handle it. I get being upset, but if Kirk would have shut his mouth, Falcons probably could have traded this. This could have been so much easier if there
True.
was this
But
of entitlement.
T Will, to that point, I try to look at it in his perspective. Like, I don't know, I consider myself like an empath, so I always try to like put myself in other people's shoes. And I'm not taking this as any sympathy for Kirk, and I'm definitely not on his side. Everybody knows how I feel about him, but I just feel like, from his point of view, like, he's gonna do what's best for him, and just how, like, we don't owe him nothing. He doesn't really owe us anything. I mean, not that he doesn't owe us anything. He owed us a lot more than what he provided for what we paid him. But what point I'm trying to make is that he has no loyalty to the Falcons. I mean, he was with us 1 year. You know what I mean? It's not like a Matt Ryan. So
Yeah, there's no
just like we have no loyalty to him, from his
Like,
point of
yeah.
view, you don't care about us probably either, really.
Yeah, it's
I'm
time to get
saying,
on. 1
as
year, 1 year
men,
done.
there's a way you conduct yourself.
Everybody's different, too. Well, not everybody's like you, unfortunately.
As men, there's a way you conduct yourself. And I'm sorry, Kirk could be kicked out the club. Like, I have no respect for him.
Neither do I.
No respect for him. My dad would always say, son, if you can walk over and touch a man on the back, why punch him in the mouth if you don't have to? If all you got to do is touch him on the shoulder to get him to do what you need to do, why punch him in the mouth? Leave a man his dignity. All of this shit Kirk did. Everything Kirk did. You're going to get the same result. You're going to get the same result. What you did, Kirk, was you isolated yourself from an entire city. Every time we see your face, we're going to boo you. You better not stop at certain restaurants. These people detest you. You are worse than a goddamn saint.
I don't know how he's going to visit his in-laws at this point.
But I'm saying you could have let your agent be this guy. You could have and the fact that you're going to let your agent tell you what to do says you don't have home training anyway. And you never were who we thought you were. You've been an imposter the entire time. Look, just because I smile in your face doesn't mean I don't disrespect you. There's some folks that can cut your throat and smile at you the entire time they do it. They're murderers just the same, right? They're serial killers that are the nicest people. Kirk is a freaking monster and will do anything to get what he wants. And I'm over him. I'm over him. I'm over him.
Well, if you're over him, then
Wait,
we
he
are too.
will. You're actually like so over it how I've been over for weeks. You're finally like on my same page. Because before you were like loving it. You were in all the drama.
When I thought about it, when I think about it, Carrie, it's
Jonathan
like
Bell in the chat.
everything that he's done and continues to do, and for what?
Right. I've been
For
on that
what?
same page for weeks
What?
now.
The thing
I'm
about it is, you can't even trade him to a team that you want to play, against this season because the Browns we don't play this year. So it's kind of like if he gets up out of here, the Browns going to that division, they're not going to win anything. The Steelers, no matter who's their quarterback, Mike Tomlin will get the dubs over them, and the Ravens too as well. They'll probably beat up on them. But the Bengals, like, send him to Cleveland, send him over there if he wants to. Right? Ain't nothing going to happen over there in that division. Right? Big shout out to Jonathan Bell in the chat. Big shout out to A Need in the chat. He said you've been a
You've been a
goofy.
goofy, yeah.
Everybody
I
in
don't
the
know.
chat.
It was. I
Talk
think
about
Lisa
Kurt.
said it in the chat. It was a swing and a miss, and I mean it happens, but man, it hurts. Honestly,
It does. It does. Desmond Ritter situation, Marcus Mariota
I think
situation.
both of those are nothing compared to Kirk. Honestly,
Yeah, because of the money and the way it played out and all the hype building around Kirk, and we got the quarterback and Mr. 4,000 yards. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, we was on the podcast saying it too. We pulled up his stats from last year before he got injured. Talked about his time in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, his time in Washington, even the year that we went to the Super Bowl, he was throwing
were we
3,500,
coping,
4,000
Jack?
yards,
Were we
29, 30
coping?
touchdowns, So
Jack, would you say we were coping, like we were trying to sell ourselves on it? Because I have so many Vikings fans that try to come in my mentions and tell me, I try to tell you, Carrie.
as
I
a
try to
fan,
tell
Carrie,
you.
you try to just, stay positive about your team. I'm gonna tell you right
Right.
now, you can't. I'm a diehard fan. Carrie, you're a diehard fan. T-Boy, you're a diehard fan, and we go through these debates with Saints fans and Panther fans and other fans of NFL teams, and people try to ring check us and shit. That's pretty much what they got over us. I mean, the Falcons have a good team on paper, right? It's just a lot of times they made a lot of mistakes, man. Way too many mistakes that fans can see where the quarterback situation was rough the past couple years with, like we mentioned, Mariota and Ritter, right? And then people's talking about Arthur Smith with the play calling, right? You can go back
Mhm.
to that. You go back to Matt Ryan at the end of his career too as well, the way Julio did us, right? I mean, go back to 2016 and 2017, the year after that too as well. Like, we've had some downtimes in Atlanta the past couple years, but the good thing about it, here on One Time for the Fan, we don't really talk about the negative stuff, man. We talk about the positive stuff, ways
Right.
to build and be better here, because the future is always going to be bright here. I think in Atlanta, you just got to get it done. At one point the Hawks, there wasn't really a solid team. I mean, they're still decent right now. I mean, people can't say the Hawks are a bad team, but look at the Braves. They end up winning a championship recently. The Georgia Bulldogs too as well. I mean, the Falcons will get there. I think every NFL team eventually, 50 something years down the line, except for the Panthers, will get theirs. You know what I'm saying? But look at the Falcons now with Michael Penix and Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell, right? And Chris Lindstrom. We can't talk about that. The best guard in the league, Chris Lindstrom,
Can we
right?
talk about offensive line? Like, how do you
Man, let's
guys
go.
feel?
Carrie, you're definitely right. Let's go straight to it. Look, check this out.
Okay.
Cool
I'm
thing
over
about it
Kirk,
is,
honestly. Like, let's get into the Falcons because to
all right,
me, he's
well,
not Falcon, even
Tori
though he is.
McElhaney, she put some notes out. The NFL annual meeting happened this week, and fans were concerned, since Drew Dahlman left, of what's going to happen here in Atlanta with the center position. And it's great because we talked about it here on the channel. We kept bringing up the Scott Karisic 2025 Atlanta Falcons depth chart projection. And we pretty much, you know, we said it, like Ryan Nuzil, this is his job to lose until they bring in like some big name center here, or they go draft a guy in like the second round or somebody that could probably compete for that job. Ryan Nuzil, that's his job to lose. Tori McElhaney putting her news out, her notes. Big shout out to her
Mhm.
too as well. She does a great job covering the Atlanta Falcons. Um, you know, Ryan Nuzil will probably take over that spot. Of course, Morris said Tuesday morning the Falcons will bring in competition for him, right? But overall, the Falcons feel solid about what they have in New Zealand. Terry, you mentioned the games last year that New Zealand played. Raheem got a chance to really look at him and say, "Hey, this could be a guy, that could potentially be our center in the future." If Drew Dorman did walk, sure enough, he did. Now Ryan New has a chance to step up and take that spot. As you can see right here, the notes, we had 8 games that he was able to go out there and be competitive and play at a high level. to be able to watch him gain the confidence that way, we really feel good about what Newsflash can do. That was the name Arthur Smith gave him. That and watching the continuing between him and Mike Penix throughout the season, with those guys being the twos at certain points in the season. So that's good to know about the center position. T. Will, we'll put these notes up here. Going back to the depth chart, we talked about camp competition battles. T. Will, Ryan Newziel, if you want to pencil him in as the starter right now, they're gonna bring him a little. They're gonna bring in a little, competition. They said right. You heard what Raheem talked about. I do think it's still gonna be Newziel. Competition could mean somebody who possibly looks like they can take your job, but we just bring him in here to scare you. That Koo Craig situation is something to look for, and we're going to talk about that later on down the line on One Time for the Fan. That is something to watch. I will personally look at that and say that's more something to pay attention to versus Ryan Newziel and Jonathan Gwynn and whoever the the new center they might bring in here to get some work. T. Will, your thoughts, man? Newziel possibly could be the starting center here in Atlanta. And of course, Miss Carey, you want to talk about the offense too as well. Your thoughts on
that? Miss Carey, if you want to go first.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. For me, as far as like Ryan Newziel, I feel like it does give me hope that, there's good and bad with it. He obviously isn't as good as Drew Dalman, so I'm a little nervous for the run game to take a hit. He's only started 8 games, but he was solid. I think he played in that 500-yard game by Kirk Cousins, so obviously pass protection was there. But for me, it is also good that I'm pretty sure he was the one practicing with Penix every practice since Kirk would have been practicing with Drew Dalman. So that would mean Michael Penix was practicing with Ryan Newziel. So that the chemistry is big, and especially with the offensive line. So that, is promising as far as that goes for him to be the starter in 2025. For me, I saw that the Falcons had a private workout with Kelvin Banks from Texas. I don't know. I put a tweet out today, and it was more so a joke, but I will probably crash out as a joke on our live show when we do draft night. But I did put a tweet out there. I survived us drafting a tight end at 4, a running back at 8, a quarterback at 8. And mind you, I love all of our players. It was just at the time, right? Those were shocking moves, especially like the quarterback thing last year. So I said, if we take an offensive lineman, because I've been seeing mock drafts. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that. Now that they've switched now from us taking an edge rusher or safety linebacker to us taking an offensive lineman at 15. And for me, I'm not saying I'm going to crash out, but I might crash out. I understand the importance of offensive and defensive lines, but at least go defensive line. We have no holes right now on offensive line. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because for me, this defense has so many holes. I don't want us going offense in round 1 at all.
So I get, and big shout out to Lieutenant Dan, unintentional grounding too as well. He got a podcast over there. He's been on the podcast over here One Time for the Fan. We were talking in his Discord the other day about this. Scott Carissa, big shout out to Scott. Big shout out to all the content creators out here who's, quickly turned their attention to the Kelvin Banks to Atlanta situation. If it can happen on draft night. Got a picture up of Kelvin Banks right here on the screen too as well. I know some fans probably chiming in like, who the hell is this guy from Texas? That's Kelvin Banks. He knows Bijan Robinson well too as well. But here, Falcon fans, talk about crashing out. Right?
I won't crash out, Jack, but I will be like, are we for real right now?
Let me tell you something.
Like last year when we said we're not taking a quarterback and we took a quarterback, like what?
I'll do this because Falcon fans, y'all are here. On draft night, we're going to have it up too as well. We're going to talk about draft night shortly, but we're going to have it up. One Time for the Fans draft board. All the names that we think could be selected. We're not going to go throw the eggs in one basket for one player. We're going to put all the names up there, and any player that gets selected, we're going to congratulate them and say, welcome to the Atlanta Falcons. But if it is an offensive player, I have to find a way to pick up my shit off the ground, my table, all the stuff
Right.
that's in my alcohol, everything that we're gonna have set up that
Right.
night is
It'll
gonna be
take me a
all over
minute.
the floor. I don't know how the podcast is gonna continue because here on One Time for the Fan, we've talked about this every damn time we put the podcast on. Sunday nights at 8, Wednesday nights at 8, Friday mornings, breakfast for One Time for the Fan. We're back Friday again too as well, 9:30. We talk defense, man. We talk Jalen Walker, man. We talk Malachi Starks, man. We talk Mike Green.
Hi, Campbell.
We talk Gerard Campbell. We talk so many defensive players.
There's so many.
What's his name? The defensive tackle Harmon from Oregon. Who else? The kid Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Second round, third round, Barrett Carter from Clemson, Cody Simon, late rounds from Ohio State. Defense.
Jack, we've taken offense in the first round the last 7 of 8 drafts.
Carrie,
AJ Terrell in the last 8 years is the only defensive player we took in the first round. It is time to go defense. I'm sorry.
No disrespect to Kelvin Banks.
Yeah, it's no disrespect at all.
Brother. This is not your time.
I don't know. Guys, I was actually shocked. If you get a chance, you'll have to read some of the replies on there because a lot of people were replying. And I was surprised. I mean, I did get some people saying, yeah, Carrie, like that's crash out worthy. But I got a lot of people. I was very surprised that were saying, I don't understand why you're crashing out. Like, that's actually a good pick. Offensive line is important, which I get. But we have a good offensive line. Like, to me.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm crashing out over the fact of, I mean, I'll put the report up right here. Let me go ahead and share this. Arthur Blank, the emphasis during the draft will be certainly on the defensive side of the ball.
I know, Jack.
And it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious to everybody. I will say, you want to see this picture? You want to see his face? You see his face? Look, Falcon fans, you see that face?
He said that on April Fool's Day, so I quote
see
tweeted
Brett's
that.
over here looking at him. Brett's like, yeah. Tell him about the defense, Art. Talk to him about the defense, Mr. Blank. It's defense at 15. You trade back, it's defense.
Right. I mean, gosh.
Some way, somehow you go offensive tackle.
Somehow
you go this guy in the draft.
They do that. Look, because they're offensive linemen that you can get in the second and third and fourth.
But to some of the fans, they don't. You can't say that to them. There won't be another Kelvin Banks.
Like, whatever.
Yeah, somebody replied to me and said, Carrie, offensive tackle might not be a sexy pick, but it's important. People hated Jake Matthews' pick, but look how good he's been for us. I get that, but
Penei Sewell from Detroit.
Let me put it to you another way.
I get it.
Sometimes you got to make a choice between a window and a roof. Which is more important?
It's the roof. I'm sorry. Right now, it's the roof. If that's defense.
So the roof would be defense. Again, I'm not saying you can't get an offensive lineman in this draft, but it better not be. It better not be.
I'm not trying to have another shocker. Like, can this be the draft show that we actually are like, okay, we did what was expected?
So the funny thing about it is, I'm not
flipping every table in this MFer.
You have a lot of computers in there, Terry. That'd be a lot.
I'm flipping every one of them. Yeah. If we pick an offensive player, I'm flipping every one of these bad boys.
Somebody else replied to me and said,
computers on the ground.
Somebody said keeping Penix upright is extremely important. You don't win games with an edge rusher or defensive tackle. Ask Myles Garrett. I'm like, I didn't reply. I was just like, okay.
I see where the fans are talking about, with Jake Matthews coming to the end of his career soon, and the way they're concerned about Caleb McGarry.
I don't want it without.
But I'm looking at this situation here. My 82 Money Carlos said, I think they're just trying to spin the narrative. Hot Boy Terry not going for it, though.
Sorry, guys.
Blank mentioning
if I'm mistaken,
that defense is, is big for them this draft. Falcon fans in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you guys want defense.
Bats are getting hot, 5-0. Is that what?
Braves up 5-0.
Braves
we talked about it.
Game. Let's go.
See what I mentioned it. I said all the Braves have to do. Remember I told you the other day on your show, they got to at least win 1 from the Dodgers before you go sweep the Marlins, and then you have to go at least. You got to split that Phillies series, before you have to play the Rays too as well. You're tough. Your first couple series for the Braves is tough. But don't forget, this is a long season. We're talking about May, June, July, August. We got enough time here, Falcon fans, to see that the Braves next week, if the Braves do get everything, by this time next week, if they get back everything on track, they're right back in it. So I know it's a slow start right now. They got to win this game against the Dodgers tonight. Go sweep the Marlins. That's a sweep. And then go deal with the Phillies, which you know is a tough team too as well in the National League. 4 tough teams in the National League with the Rays too as well in the first month. Yeah, like, this is a tough team, you know. So
got to sweep the Marlins. Got to get 2 out of 3 from Philly, and we'll be right there. But
yeah, Eric Parker said Kim going to whoop his ass if he flips one.
Probably would, but I would do it anyway, Eric. Whatever, BLB, I would do it anyway. Look, man. We need defense, Falcons. Okay, we need defense. If last year showed us anything, it is that. God damn it, we need defense. All right, we need an edge rusher. We need a linebacker. We need a safety. We need a cornerback. These are all needs. They're not wants. They're needs.
Look, Falcon fans.
We need almost every position, to be honest, on the defensive side of the ball, even if it's just depth.
Falcon fans.
I'll take a defensive tackle, too.
Big shout out to Carrie. Big shout out to Terry. Y'all see the projection Scott Kursick put up right here. This is
okay, Deshaun, you're just so wrong for that.
Look at this right here, Falcon fans. I talked about it the other day. Carrie talked about it. T-Will talked about it. Your offense is pretty much there.
Right.
Your starters are not competing for shit come summertime. Caleb McGarry, they're gonna go through this season with Caleb. It's looking like it. Right. Caleb, Chris, Newziel, Bergeron, Matthews. You don't want to mess up this line too much. These guys have been playing with each other for years outside of Bergeron being there since last year. Now he's in his third year now?
He's in his third year.
Playing with this offensive line. Playing beside who? Matthews. If they would have kept Dahlman would have been there. He can look over and say, "What's up, Lindstrom? You've been playing with me for the past 2 years here on this offensive line." Caleb McGarry, what's up, bro? You've been here on the past on the offensive line the past couple of years. This offensive line, I think, is set. I can't plug Kelvin Banks into this at 15 right now. I just can't. I'm just not being disrespectful, not being rude. I'm just looking at what I have here. Kyle Pitts, Ray, Darnell. Your 1, 2, and 3 wide receiver is there. Your running backs are there. Your quarterback is there. Offensive line is there. How can we plug in Kelvin Banks at this point?
Why are
we plugging in Kelvin Banks at this point?
I don't see it. I don't
see it. I just don't. And I don't want it. Those people that probably did their mocks and everything, and everybody has their opinion. Falcon fans, you have some people on this side of the fence that says go get an offensive lineman. Some people on this side of the fence that say go get a defensive player. All right, cool. We're not going to be sitting here arguing about it. But for the fans that want an offensive player, if they do select it, that's what's up. Shout out to the Falcons. We're going to sit here and still support and select and shout out.
Give me a few minutes to crash out, and then I'm
we're probably gonna leave the stream for a minute and then come back on the stream and then still say, our respects.
Right.
But we're all leaning toward defense. This is the 1 year all signs are pointing.
Like you can't mess this up, right? Like,
don't say can't, Gary. Don't say don't.
I mean, it's truly.
It's right here. It's right here.
Don't do that.
The emphasis during the draft will be certainly on the defensive side of the ball.
I know what made me nervous about, the draft a little bit is Raheem saying that, we have these young guys that, on defense. I forgot the exact quote, but essentially he was saying there's guys like Dorless and Rook, Trice that we really haven't seen much of. So we have promise there. We have young guys already, like on defensive line. But I'm thinking, yeah, but you could add more because they're basically they're I can't think of the right word, but they're young. They haven't really played much. They haven't proven anything, for lack of a better word. So they're unproven. That's the word I was looking for. Unproven.
Gary, you need an edge rusher that can get there. They got that. You need a linebacker that can cover. They got that. You need a safety that can back up.
You need more of that. You need more of that. I've
Hey,
banked on
I'm
Chris
saying
Lindstrom the past couple
in
seasons.
the draft they have that. In the draft they have that is what I'm saying.
I'm looking at my offensive line right now, saying these guys are good to go.
Right.
I want my offensive line. I'm not looking at. I'm not too. I saw these guys play last year with Kirk and Penix.
Right.
I saw them play the year before that with Ritter. I
Shout
saw them
out
play
to
the year before that with Mariota. I've seen this offensive line.
Right. No, Eric said inexperienced. That's the word I was looking for. That's the thing. Yeah, you have this young talent, but they haven't proven anything yet. They're inexperienced. So they're essentially rookies. So for me, we can't just bank on them because
and injuries happen. So look it. You need an edge rusher. You clearly don't have enough of them. You need an edge rusher. You need a linebacker who can cover. Troy Anderson cannot stay healthy. You need a linebacker who can cover. You need a cornerback probably for your nickel.
It's just me, you can't mess this up. I know you're saying don't say that, but to me, you truly can't mess this up. This draft has so much defensive talent. It's not like it's heavily on the offensive side of the ball. There's so much defensive talent, and we're thirsty for defensive talent. So for me,
want to see this team trade back and go defense. Gary, it's right there in front of you. This team, these fans, you have to see.
That's why you can't mess this up.
Get you some defensive players. Build this defensive unit. And I'm talking about you can get you an offensive player if you want to when you trade back. It's perfectly fine.
In the 7th round, yeah, sure. Go get them.
Did you say 2nd or 7th? Sorry.
7th.
7th.
I said it with my chest out.
I was like, wait,
the funny thing about this, I do think they are going to select. I think they're going to draft an offensive player in the draft somewhere down the line.
That's fine, but not at 15. I mean, not a top 20 talent in the draft for me. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but
you talked about the confidence in the young core. It's right here on the report. Tori out here writing some of the guys that got hurt and missed last year are coming back. Morris said,
right.
We have a lot of people coming back. Don't forget, DeMarco Helms is going to be back too as well. That I'm really excited about. When you talk about Braylon Trice, you talk about Rook Roar. He missed significant time last year with his ankle. Talk about Brandon Doris being able to step up this year. Some of those guys in that last year's draft class are going to be really helpful in us getting better and in some of the things we do. Then being able to add this year, you're constantly trying to grow your team, but you're definitely confident you're going to be a lot better on that side of the ball. Kerry, you mentioned it. We'll go back to the draft projection right here, or the depth chart projection. If I'm looking to add anywhere, when I talk about need some assistance, need some help, I'm looking at this defense. Right, and you're not banking on a rookie. Like I said, we're not putting everything into Jahad Campbell if it's him, or Jalen Walker if it's him, or Malachi Starks if it's him. But some of those gems in the draft could help your team going forward down the line. Like if you get a guy like Kenneth Grant, if you trade back, a guy like Harmon from Oregon, if you trade back, Mike Green too as well.
Yeah, I just got an idea. Eric said we got Kirk, so can Kirk play linebacker or safety? I mean, he needs to, give us a little more than what we paid for. So
Kirk can play the robber.
That's tough.
Oh, come on, Jack. I need a wow for that. I need a wow. I need a wow. Thank you.
I was queuing it up.
With the wows, Jack. I'm just saying.
Going down in a major way. 82 Monte Carlos here. Michael's in the chat. Eric Parker. Michael, let's see. What we talking about tonight? Talking about Kirk Cousins, talking about the NFL annual leagues meeting that they had this week. Comments from Raheem Morris about Kirk Cousins and the team going forward. Talking a little bit about the draft too as well with Kelvin Banks if he could be the pick. I had a private workout with him. Which I'm sure is going to be probably a couple more private workouts down the line too as well. What is going on here? Is GB Hall in the chat? That is tough. Kirk would be third string. For me, he wouldn't even suit up. To see the Pakistanis like traveling. Well, really had to go ahead and cut out here in a second.
He's got to hit the drive-through.
Shit. T-Will.
We got draft coming up, man. All day, man. You know what? I'll be so glad when we get through with this Kirk Cousins shit. so Karen can come back to herself because she's been taking shots, man.
Man, he's probably out of me,
I ain't gonna
honestly.
lie though, Carrie has been taking some shots
Karen been
recently. I
taking
woke up
shots.
to a
Golly,
barrage of
when a good girl
steep
goes
disses from Carrie,
bad,
and I was like, "What is
damn,
this?"
damn.
But
First, Carrie fired me
Carrie
up
been
when we
hanging with
first
Kendrick
before,
recently. That's why. She's been hanging with
before we
Kendrick.
even came in the show. I was like, yeah, I gotta go after that. She was like, what are you going through the drive-through? She
I'm
was firing
sorry.
me up.
You know, Eric Parker exposed you. I know all about your drive-through shenanigans. The workers know you by first name. Yeah,
I
that's
told you when Eric
Eric
first
is bad.
shout out
put
to
me
Eric.
through with T Will. Called him on the phone and T Will didn't answer, and Eric was like, "Hold on, he's in the drive-through. He gonna call me right back." Sure enough, T Will did
I
call
didn't
back a couple
know
minutes
that.
later, and he was in the drive-through
Oh
as
wow.
well.
That
So
was a
Eric
different
was
time. That was a different time. I don't do drive-throughs anymore because we have DoorDash. I'm just
Drive-through, T. Will, for the people. We kind of want to know, what is your favorite drive-through?
favorite drive-through. Damn,
What is your
Carrie.
favorite drive-through? What type of question is that?
Favorite drive-through.
Florida, we have drive-through liquor stores. I don't
Yes,
know.
Now
cold-blooded.
probably
You guys
Jim and
them
Nick.
ranked?
Probably
Shit.
Jim and Nick's. You guys got Jim and Nick's in Florida?
No, I've never even
It's a
heard.
barbecue spot.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a barbecue spot.
drive-through barbecue. All right. All of them. Eric said all of them.
No, I think yeah, he said all of them. All of them. That's a Southern thing. All of them.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
you love all the drive-throughs.
Yeah. Whatever, Eric. Whatever.
Yeah.
Turn state's evidence.
Wow.
Taco fans hit that like, share, subscribe.
T
T
was
Will.
DoorDash #1 subscriber.
He's like a gold member.
Hey, y'all better stop slipping on Craig. Craig is a beast, man.
Craig's awesome.
Craig is a freaking beast out there. Shout out to Craig. Hey, man, I got to roll. Y'all be good. Thank you to everyone who joined. You guys continue to have a great evening. Thank you in the chat. No, shut up, Eric. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you to God. Thank you to Carrie. Thank you to Jack.
Thank you to DoorDash.
My start. Whatever. Oh my God. What have y'all done to Carrie? Where's my sweet Carrie? Jesus. I see y'all. Y'all be good.
Taco fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button for my boy T Will from ATL Sports. One time for the fan. Me and Carrie getting ready to wrap up the show here. You know, we talked a little bit about Kirk, probably too much about Kirk.
Too much.
Went into a little bit of the draft of, you know, should we select an offensive player or a defensive player? Everybody here in the chat, you know, you guys have your own opinion too as well. We respect that. So one fan might say, no, go offensive tackle. We need this guy. Another fan might say, go defensive tackle. We need this guy. Another fan might say, go linebacker, go safety. That's the good thing about it. We all are here to talk Falcons football together. One time for the fan is from the fan for the fan. What T. Will didn't mention was breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Friday morning, 9:30. We're going to be talking Falcons football again. Go over some more of the NFL annual league meetings notes, right, about what's going on with the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe there's an update with, you know, Kirk Cousins or some other Atlanta Falcons news we can talk about on Friday. But that's very important. Don't forget about the Rise Up Tour Fan Club Spring Fling. Spring Fest over there at the City of Forest Park. You know, big shout out to them. They're on a great event. Also, we wish as well. But we have to talk about something very, very important because it's going down in a major way on draft night, Miss Carrie. Falcon fans here in the chat, tag your Falcons friends, tell your Falcons family. We have a couple more shows coming up before draft night, right? And it's going to be great. We've been doing this now for about 2 years with the draft, and everybody's just been, you know, just so respectful in the chat, and talking Falcons football, and you know, just excited about who the next member of the Atlanta Falcons, you know, could be. So big shout out to everybody that's going to be joining us on draft night. Miss Carrie, we're lit on draft night.
I can't wait.
We have a lot going on. We have a lot of people joining us. So, Carrie, just your thoughts about draft night. What's going on here with One Time for the Fan? You're the super producer.
Yeah, I'm really
So
excited. I mean, this is gonna be my third year doing with you guys. It's so much fun. You know, you're gonna see our live reactions to the draft picks in the first round. We're gonna be live for probably what 3 to 5 hours, I'm guessing. Um,
it's starting pretty early. We're looking at 7 o'clock, probably ending close to 11, maybe 11:30. If the Falcons trade back, we ain't going nowhere. We staying right there. So we can go from 15. That's the funny thing. We joke about, doing these mock drafts, but if they trade back at 15, the pick is supposed to be around 9:15, 9:20, 9:30. If they trade back, Kerry, we could be on there till 10:45, 11 o'clock talking Falcons football. Don't let them trade back to 30. We might be on there till midnight
Jeez,
talking
yeah,
Falcons.
literally. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of special guests on draft night. I'm super excited. We're gonna have Big Low Country. We're gonna have A1 Forever Sports of Chris. We're gonna have Scott Karisic, Mark Cheney, Ricondo, a real Falcons fan. I believe Lisa Shepard's coming through. Eric Parker's gonna come through. We might even have Berto. I know we're gonna have the Falconator. We're gonna have a lot of people coming through just to keep it
Birdo, Smitty,
exciting.
Bro Talk. It's a lot of people. Chef Matt, senior executive
Is
Chef
he
Matt's gonna be
coming?
checking in live from the Benz.
Oh, that's
We also have one of his other chefs too as well, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, Chef Michael Ray is going to be joining us with us too as well. That's going to be pretty cool because Chef Mike, he's going to be in another area of the stadium, dealing with some stuff, talking Falcons football, and then Chef Matt is going to be showing us some really cool stuff. Chef Matt always shows us some cool stuff here on One Time for the Fan. So Chef Matt's going to be joining us too as well that night. Man, we're probably going to have close to 30, maybe 40 guests joining us that night on One Time for the Fan. It's a great time. Lisa Shepard says she'll be reporting in from the draft that night too as well.
Lisa.
So big shout out to everybody that's going to be joining us on One Time for the Fan. Carrie heard there's going to be some giveaways. He said, "When did I get added on?" Eric, you've been on there the past 2 years. You've always been added on.
You're
Eric was on
on
the
there.
very first One Time for the Fan show, right? Yeah.
You were the first one on the list, to be honest. So you could blame T-Will for that. Just say it.
Hey,
But yeah, we're
okay.
gonna have fun. It's gonna be awesome. Live reaction to the Falcons pick. Hopefully, we're not shocked like we have been like the last few years. Hopefully, it's like okay, we win defense, and it's just super excited. Hopefully, no crashing out. Um, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of giveaways. I think we're gonna try to do one per hour. That way, multiple people get a chance to win. So it's going to be some kind of Falcons gear, maybe like the draft hat for this year that the players, that we draft are going to be wearing on the stage. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. And if you're tuning in live, you'll get a chance to win the giveaways.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Look, we got special guests. We got Falcon fans joining us on draft night. It's gonna be great, y'all. I'm talking about we're starting early. Bodie 3000, Bodie's best. Big shout out to Bodie. Y'all gotta go check out Bodie's best. Head on over to YouTube. So you gotta go check out Bodie's best. I'm telling y'all, man, Bodie's doing some great things, and he is going to be with us on draft night. The giveaways, like I said, man, we've been doing the super chats. The donations have been coming in. Thank you all with the super chats. Right,
Yeah.
we're not finna go and spend it at Six Flags. I'm gonna match whatever the super chats are. We're gonna do a big live giveaway on draft night. You got to be here
Yeah, you
for
got
the
to be.
live giveaway. Carrie, the super producer, we're over here putting, our thoughts together about how we can go ahead and make this live giveaway work well. Where we don't want, people just jumping in randomly, just winning the giveaway. When we got so many diehards that's going to be watching from beginning to end, and that's the cool thing about it, right? So, some people who didn't get a chance to hear this show tonight. Right? They didn't get a chance to hear about these live giveaway details, but we got to talk about it again on Friday. Then we'll
Right.
talk about it again on Sunday. Then we'll talk
I'm with
about it
Craig.
again
Though. We can't wait to be with us draft night to see us pick Mike Green. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at it. Honestly,
Hey,
we could pick multiple defensive players and I'll be happy. Like, because we have multiple holes on defense and there's some game changers on defense.
here's the cool thing.
Offense at 15, Jack. Like,
You're with us, Carrie, that night. Craig, you're with us. We're talking almost 3.5 to 4 hours of One Time for the Fan. So you get enough of Kerry talking Falcons, T-Will talking Falcons, Jack Spade, Bodie 3000 talking Falcons. Don't forget all those special guests we
Yeah,
just named,
that was
A1,
exciting.
Country. Then there's so many other special guests that's going to be joining us too as well. We
Right.
finna pack it out. One time for the fan is from the fan for the fan. We finna pack it out, man. Probably Thomas Scott's gonna be joining us. Rise Up Tour fan club members joining us. We're having a good time doing what? Talking Falcons football. We ain't hurting nobody. But that night, we're gonna we joke about flipping the tables. It's gonna get a little rowdy because I might be on that Tito's. You never know. But it's gonna get a little rowdy if they do select a player that we're probably shocked to see being selected, right? Because most people here have their eggs in one basket on one player. We're going to set up the draft board so you guys can see it that night. One time for the fans draft board. These are the players we think will be selected by the Atlanta Falcons. You're probably not going to see the wide receiver from Arizona on there, right? You're probably not going to see the offensive tackle from Penn State on there. You're not going to see Armand from Missouri on there. You're not going to see Abdul Carter from Penn State on there. You're not going to see Shadir Sanders on there. We're going over who we think the Falcons will select at 15 or trade back. And there's some good names on the board. I can tell you right now, it's leaning more so defense than offense just because of what we've seen. Don't forget, we haven't seen no recent moves from the Falcons other than the restructures the past
Right.
couple of days. So maybe they're sitting tight until draft to go load up on defense and then wait till after the draft to go grab the rest of the pieces of the puzzle that they need to get the job done. Well, with that being said, King Rich is in the chat. Jesus Christ. King Rich said they're going wide receiver with the
You
first
know
pick.
what?
King Rich heard everything I just said and said, yeah, that's right. Hey, they're going wide receiver with the first pick. There you go. Send that over to the chat. Big shout out to King Richie, man, trying to stir up some controversy in the chat. Don't quote King Richie. They're not going wide receiver. I don't want nobody DMing King Richie like, yo, what the hell you say? Don't be saying that to these Falcons.
Right.
But I will say this, Falcon fans, if you're here in the chat, put a 1 if you want to go defense. If you want the Falcons to go defense, put a 1. If you want the Falcons to go offense, put a 2. If you don't give a shit and you just want the Falcons to select a player that's going to come over here and get the job done, then put a 3 in the chat. But if you're leaning towards defense, that's what you want to see, put a 1 in the chat.
Please, I want to see all ones in the chat.
Former ATL Sports with the 1 in the chat. Pam Jackson. Big shout out to Pam Jackson here joining us with the 1 in the chat. Michael is here with the 1 in the chat already early. Don't forget, put your 1s in the chat if you want to see us go defense. 2s if you want to see us go offense. 3s if you just don't give a shit. Which I know most fans, even if you put a 3, we want to see your answer of 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? Because it's draft night is a reason why you're watching the draft. It's going to be an offensive player or a defensive player. That's the big thing about it.
I'm with Lisa though. If we don't go defense, I'm probably gonna lose it, and you guys are gonna see it live.
I mean, just imagine for the fans showing to the bench. Now look, when they selected Chris Lyncham a couple years ago, fans were like, "Who?" It panned out. It played out. So we're not hating on the pick. We're just saying that everything is leaning toward defense.
Right.
How is it not leaning toward defense?
Read the room, Falcons. Terry,
read the room, Terry.
Raheem Morris. If you guys draft offense at 15, come on. Come on.
I know the fans that want to, debate about, hey, you got to get a tackle now because of Jake's future and Caleb McGarry and, Michael Penix's blind side. Man, you can get a tackle in the free agency. You can get a tackle in the draft. You can get later rounds. You can get a tackle next year, right? This is just leaning defense.
I mean, defense. Come on. Did they watch the defense last year? Compared to the offense? In the chat. Come on.
Look at the ones in the chat, right? If we draft the wide receiver, TF gonna have to shoot me as a shit.
Oh wow.
Look at this. Look at the ones in the chat. Jonathan Bell's in the chat.
I'm all about it. Thank you guys. And we got a Dixon Way raid coming through. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Larry.
Big shout out to the Dixon Way, man. Dixon Way always holding it down when it comes to the raids. And there's a lot of other content creators out there doing great things in this space. Falcon fans that's in the chats, reach out to the content creators, hit the like, share, and subscribe button for them too as well. They got some up and coming content creators too as well, such as this guy right here, former ATL Sports, who was just live with us. Bodie's Best has his channel up too, so make sure you guys go check out Bodie's Best on YouTube. Head over to YouTube, search bar, type in Bodie's Best. He'll be joining us on draft night. Dixon Way Raid is live in the chat with John Brooks is here. Georgia Dog is here talking Falcons football. Marlon Franks is here. Oh, sorry, Marion Franks is here talking Falcons football. Humanity is here talking Falcons football. And of course, 82 Money Carlo with the one in the chat. Matthew PD fan, PD is the GOAT. Rayford Trey Young is a great player for the Hawks. Hey, I rock with Trey Young. You know, I got my Trey Young stuff over here. My Trey Young gear. Carrie, you're a big Trey Young fan?
Yeah, I mean, how can I not be?
Okay. Well, he repeated it 3 times. He wants us to let us know.
I'm pretty sure there's like 5. I hope it's not a repeat
He
of
wants
that.
us to let us know that he's one of the greatest players. You know.
Okay.
Hey.
As long as you really mean that and you're standing with your chest and it's not like that other spam chats we were getting recently. Man, that was rough.
Yeah, we don't want those spam chats. Well, big shout out to Matthew PD in the chat. Hey, if it's about Hawks, Braves, Dogs, United, Falcons, Dream, come on, not Georgia Tech. Let's talk about it. Big shout out, Mr. Davis in the chat. Moss in the chat too as well. Shonda Dixon is in the chat. The Dixon way is in the chat. Man, they were making the chat live and lit. Big shout out to the Dixon way. Matthew's back. He said, the rate for Trey Young. Yeah, he's a great player for the Hawks. He just wants to let everybody know. Breeze is in the chat. Dixon Way Raid. Big shout out to Breeze in the chat.
Him in Dixon Way streams.
Man, Dixon Way does a great job. Falcon fans, if you guys haven't heard of the Dixon Way, head over to his channel right here. You can see I have it up. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. They talk Hawks live. They talk Braves live. They talk Falcons live. These are the content creators we're talking about. It's the off season. A lot of y'all are traveling this year. A lot of y'all won't be on Twitter. You won't be on social media. You can't catch the Braves games. You can't watch the Hawks games. You want to go live and talk with diehard sports fans? Head over to the Dixon Way.
I mean, to your point, Jack, opening day of the MLB season this year, I mean, just last week, MLB app was down. I could not watch the Braves game. People on Twitter were going crazy. They couldn't watch their team. So on opening day, so yeah, I referred everybody. I said, here's the link. Go check out the Dixon Way. He's live right now, live streaming the game like he does every game. He's a diehard fan. I love it.
That's good to know. That's good to know because, like I said, there are fans, and I've talked to these fans that said they don't listen to much on social media. They like listening to podcasts. They can't call into the radio station because the radio station has their lines, in a way where they're not answering this call. They won't take this call. One time for the fan, you can come over here. You can be positive about the Falcons. Don't be over here saying no negative shit. We want to be, supportive of this team and organization, but the chat is for y'all. It's from the fan. It's for the fan. It's one time for the fan. That's why the name is called One Time for the Fan. I'm a fan. Carrie's a fan. Eric Parker's a fan. Georgia Dog's a fan. Pam Jackson's a fan. Like, we're all in this together. When we win the Super Bowl, I'm sure Eric Parker's going to hold me a spot somewhere at the parade. Like, these are diehard Falcon fans. Moss is in here with the pass rush. Like, this is what we talk about here. Falcon fans. Tyreek Johnson. I wouldn't be mad at O-line the first round only if we trade back for more picks. If that happens, you can't hate that. Like, that's a good move. They traded back. They got an offensive lineman that they felt could, help their offensive, line in the future. And they're going to select a bunch of defensive picks. But
there's so many holes on defense. I get it, right? Because we have aging, older offensive linemen, but it's like
I knew Carrie was going to say that. That's why I
holes on defense, and we have so few picks. But hopefully we do trade back, and then I will feel better about that, like you said.
You don't have any more everybody's there to play football now. Jesse Bates and AJ is probably your biggest 2 stars on defense, right? Like the fan favorites. Go get you a big star pass rusher that you feel like can be the future guy here for years to come. If it's Campbell, if it's Mike Green, let's just say you get Mike Green out there and he goes out there and gets 5 to 10 sacks his first year, right? First game against the Saints, 2 or 3 sacks that game. You want a guy that can go in there and be explosive in the bends. People that's going to be like, man,
right?
Jerseys flying off the racks, right? And please don't get a guy that's going to sit on the bench. Right? Don't get a guy that's like, oh, he's not ready to play. We're going to look. No, we're not doing all this.
Right.
I need my pick out there week 1. But Carrie said it. Too many holes on that defense right now. And I'm not talking bad about the young core. I think they're going to do great this year.
Right.
But we have to add to that young core too as well. And I think it's going to be through the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Want to get younger? Get some guys in the draft.
I mean, to your point, Jack, they're essentially rookies. They didn't play a lot last season.
In a way, yeah. Rook is, he's coming off of some of the games he was injured, and Dorless, you saw it, 2 games or 3 games last year. He got to Contavious Street if he's on the 53. Leonard Floyd's a veteran. Arnold Ebikete's going to his contract. Debo Malone, they're all fighting for, the guy get a deal soon.
Never saw. I mean,
yeah.
So, but to the point about AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates, I want Jesse Bates to stay here long term, but I feel like from his point of view, he's going to be due for an extension soon. If we want him to extend, we got to provide some star players around him.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So
yeah, he left Cincinnati on a team that was the year before or the year that he left. They went to the Super Bowl. Or the year before that.
Yep.
So, he wants to go back to a team that's, I mean, not saying that he wants to go back to a team. He wants to be in a position where he can go back to the playoffs.
Yeah, he wants to go to the playoffs and Super Bowl. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I think this Falcon team can get it done. You do have, some missing pieces, as Kerry mentioned, and some people would question Jeff Ulbricht's defensive coordinator ability, this year to call some plays. But, he is a veteran. He knows Raheem. I think if they work well together, the one piece of information I like hearing about, like, Jeff Ulbricht's first report when he got here is that everybody's working together to draw up these plays on defense. Like, I remember he said that in the press conference, right? So that's going to be big, that Jerry Gray and, Nate Ali, whoever's in that room is going to be a key part of getting this done. Some would say Jimmy Lake wasn't like that, right? He just kind of focused on his own style of defense, and this is how we are going to run it. Right, but Jeff Ulbricht, he knows what's on the table right here, right? I mean, a lot of these people, that's part of the organization, was there in that Super Bowl. Right, they remember it, right? Raheem talked about revenge and redemption and stuff. Hey, man, you gotta go get it. We gotta go get it. Jonathan Bell's in the chat. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up here. He said Mike Green or Malachi Starks at 15. Please, no wide receiver. Sterling Woods is in the chat with the what's going on, everyone. And of course, we have a super chat.
Oh, thank you, Deke. We'll add it to our draft night fund.
He's adding to the draft night fund that we have going on with the giveaways. Kerry was looking at some of the stuff we can do for the giveaways. Kerry, we got some cool gifts that we're going to be putting out there. I mean, we want to go. Kerry's even asking, hey, you want to do like 10 or like 15 gifts? And it's like, whoa, hold on, Kerry. let's look at the budget, right? But it's cool because we're going to be doing it live, and fans that are in the chat, they can be a part of this. So big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin. And it's going to be live where we put the random name generator on the board.
Right.
We hit the spin the wheel. We did it before like 2-3 times. We hit the spin the wheel. It, picks the name, and we'll do the winners like that. I guess we'll do one winner every 30 minutes or every hour. However,
yeah, and to that point, we're still going to figure it out, because I originally had said top of every hour, because we want to do at least like probably one giveaway an hour. But we're not going to do it on top of every hour, because like you mentioned earlier in the show, we don't want just people popping in for 1 minute. Oh, they won because they popped in right when the top of the hour giveaway was happening. So
cool thing about this,
yeah,
they won't even know when we're doing this. So people might expect, it's 8 o'clock. They're about to do another giveaway. Nah, player. 8:22, we did the giveaway. So you never know how it can work, but I guarantee you it's going to be fun. It's going to be organized. We've done it in the past. Gave away Kyle Pitts jersey, tickets to Falcons game, shirts, different stuff. Cool thing about it is fans here in the chat remember it. We'll probably be back to win again. First time fans here that's never done it before get a chance to win something cool. And there's some people that's reached out to me on extending their fan services too as well to give some gifts. So we might be able to add on to it. I believe Michael, where's he at? Michael is here. He's in Puerto Rico, so he's also reached out to us about sending a nice little gift bag over to the States too as well. That has some pretty cool items inside. I remember he mentioned it last time. It has some like Puerto Rican coffee, I believe it is, or some more. It's some cool stuff that Michael had mentioned. It's in like a little gift bag.
So
we have Corey Bishop.
Did you see Lisa's message? She has a nice message too that she just put in there. for you.
Oh, what we have here, I have some things I can donate for draft night giveaways. Hit me up, Spade. Oh, Lisa Shepard. Hold on now. You got some of these fans in here like, oh, they giving away a bunch of shit. I bet they
Thank
give away some
you.
Jordans too. You don't give away some Jordans, Jack? No, we ain't giving away no damn Jordans.
Thank
Uh,
you, Lisa. That's awesome. So we can add that to our items that we're giving away.
it's gonna be fun, right? And I want to make sure that fans know that we enjoy this. Whenever we do giveaways, whenever we go live, we enjoy this, right? It's big to, and Carrie, you have a lot going on with your day. Like you mentioned before the podcast started, you was running around trying to get things together, and you had a long day. Like you take care of things. You don't just sit at the computer and wait for the podcast to go live. But to take an hour and a half of your day to talk Falcons and to go into other content creators' chats and talk Falcons with them, and we see how supportive you are in the one time for the fan chats. Like this is a time consuming thing. This takes up a lot of your day. So
Right.
for fans, we really do enjoy this when we talk Falcons with you because we know that you guys enjoy it. The chat is enjoying it. We got over 1,000 subscribers from going live. Like check the channel. We just go live, right? And now we're at the content. I mean, the subscribers are just going up. Everything is just working in our favor because fans really like the show, and we're going to continue to do this for the fans. The giveaway is coming up. Like I said, I'll match it. Whatever is in the super chat pot, I'll match it. You say y'all giving away a Tesla? Hell no, we giving away no Tesla.
I gotta
Boy,
get myself
stop.
a Tesla first.
Tesla? No, ain't no
Sheesh,
Tesla.
maybe like a little toy Tesla.
Sheesh. But I guarantee you this, man. Y'all gonna have a great time on draft night. Carrie, like, just big shout out to her too as well, because Carrie's even hitting me up on, hey, ideas for this or this giveaway. What do you guys think? What do you think about this? Like, it's so cool because this is gonna be a great show. 4 hours, we're prepared for it, right? People's gonna be cutting in and out of the podcast. You might see John from Out of Your Fucking Mind jump in, and Carrie has to jump out, and Berto jumps in, and Smitty jumps in, and Berto has to leave, and T Will jumps in, and Bodie jump in, and Eric Park. It's gonna be crazy. We're talking Falcons football. I want to know fans. I want to know their opinion about the team. Like, I want to
All
know
right.
what they think about the off season, what they think about the future of this Atlanta Falcons. Man,
Yeah,
I guess
you just reminded me. I do have a Kirk Cousins jersey.
oh, giving away the Kirk Cousins jersey. Y'all want to give away the Kirk Cousins jersey? Y'all want to do that for real?
I mean, it might be on clearance. I'm kidding. I never bought a Kirk Cousins jersey. Not gonna lie.
Sheesh.
You, John.
Michael said, "What time is the draft show starting?" I'm thinking about 7 because the draft starts at 8.
Okay.
So we'll probably go live at
Okay.
7 and get things popping early because there's some other content creators going to be joining us that they're going live too as well. So we want to give them their respect to get to their channel on time,
Okay.
get their stuff set up. We don't want to give them 45 minutes here and then they have to rush over to their channel. So we've already worked on some things. But
Okay.
big shout out to everybody who's going to be joining us that night. And it's going to be great, right? So draft night, 7 o'clock. Come on. Yeah. Let's go ahead and say it, Carrie. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Be there.
We're going to talk some Falcons football on draft night. It's going to be a long, fun night as a Falcon fan. Carrie, with that being said, breakfast with One Time for the Fan. We'll be back on Friday morning.
Friday morning.
So everybody who wants to talk more Falcons football with One Time for the Fan, come on back. Once again, if you want to donate with the super chats, I don't even know. There's like a button or I can't see it because I'm on stream.
Bottom
There's like
right.
a symbol.
A little money sign.
Yeah, there's a little sign right there. It's going to the One Time for the Fan giveaways. As you can see, Dwayne Ruffin just did his super chat right there. So we're gonna go and see now how we want to make the gifts even better. Carrie might have to go and click the tab to go up a little bit more. Hey, we're gonna select this right here. So we had this gift last time, but we're gonna up it and put this gift down.
Yeah. So if you guys donate $10, Jack Donut matches it. So it's like a 401k. He'll match it $10. If you put $10, he'll give you $10.
Hey, right now we're doing good. I must say we're doing really good because fans have been donating since the super chats hit, since we hit 1,000, and we're gonna give away some really cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about being a Falcon fan. At the end of the day, we're just enjoying this, right? Super chat that thing up, super chat that thing up. Chat, big chat Dwayne Ruffin in the chat. It's fun. We're gonna do this Friday morning, Sunday night, next week Wednesday. We're gonna talk Falcons. I'm talking about this whole damn off season. So make sure y'all are here one time for the fan every step of the way. Carrie, let's go ahead and get up out of here. I'm sure we got a long night ahead of us.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Jack. Shout out to T. Will, Bodie. I don't know where Bodie's at. Is he doing yard work?
Hold on, let me shut the camera. He's still outside in the yard. I told him he thought it was gonna rain today, so he's trying to cover the new grass he just put down. Got the Bermuda grass that we just put down.
Oh wow.
So
Bodie took the day off though for draft night, right? He's gonna be there. He's not doing any yard work draft night.
Yeah, I just told him, I said you have to wear your Falcons jersey for this one because he can't be in uniform. Right.
Oh wow. But yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. I appreciate you guys for joining us, talking Falcons with us on this Wednesday night. Hope you're happy and healthy, and see you Friday morning. And shout out to he just gave us another donation. So.
You just said that too as well. Let's go. That's super chat.
Thank you, Deke. So that's $10 from Deke. That's $10 from Jack. We got another super chat. Sterling Woods.
Going down in a major way. But wait. Sterling Woods said super chat. My boy Sterling Woods.
Thank you. Here.
We'll just say rise up. He didn't even leave no comment. He just put the $2 in there. He said, look, this is for draft night. This for y'all. Look, we finna have a great time. Sterling Woods might be a winner. I don't know who's finna win. I know when I hit that damn button on that fucking wheel thing that spins around like 100 times, that's gonna be great. He said $10 towards the Cybertruck.
No Cybertruck.
Jeez. Tesla stock is taking a hit. Dwayne Ruffin. Wall for wall, Jack. Big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin. Let me tell you something about this guy, man. Die-hard Atlanta Falcon fan, right? He can talk Falcons with you all day. He can talk college football with you all day. But when you travel, like, and you go on the road, Dwayne Ruffin, he lives on the West Coast, right? So he's not out here in Atlanta. But when it comes to getting out there on the road to see his team, that man will bring his whole family. You feel what I'm saying? Kids and all, everybody coming, right? So big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin because he includes everyone into it, right? I know that some fans is like, no, I'm leaving my family at home. They ain't traveling with me. Dwayne Ruffin's like, nah, everybody showing up. And y'all know to travel, like, that's a good little amount. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 people. I mean, but at the end of the day, he wants these moments to be like remembered forever. Right, just seeing the looks on the kids' faces the day they met Bijan and the family that day in Tennessee. It was in Tennessee's game. Yeah, against the Titans. When Bijan's family called his son back over there, right? That was just a big moment for them. And I'm sitting over there looking like, wait, what? Deke Ruffin? What? Hey, Deke.
That was awesome.
I was joking. But that was just a good moment, man. And it's just great to see those moments from fans, from family, on the road, win or lose. It don't matter, man. We walk away. We go back to our hotel, we pack our bags knowing that we're going to another city or we're going back to Atlanta, but we enjoy these experiences. So I can tell you, Dwayne Ruffin, when I saw him in Vegas at the mall shopping, we went to the Hawks game because the Hawks had the Hawks-Bucks play-in or the championship game, whatever it was. Those are just big moments right there, right? So when you travel, Falcon fans, it's good to see people like Dwayne Ruffin, right? It's good to see people like Karina Atkins, right? It's good to see people like your diehard fans, your Lisa Shepherds and them out there every time you hit the road. So fans, big shout out to you all. These super chats, they do mean a lot because it's going to help out with the draft night. We're going to have a great time doing these giveaways.
Jack, we got another super chat. We got another one.
Are you kidding me? Can I catch up with the chat? Because I was over here.
82 Monte Carlo, appreciate you. That's
Did
awesome.
the Braves, did they win? Because I'm seeing a lot of Braves talk coming from this little chat I'm in. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know. The Hawks are winning 81-78.
Okay, Hawks. Braves 5-3 in the 5th. This is tough because this Dodger team, they'll sneak up on you and put four more runs up. So Braves got to lock in. Super chat from Sterling Woods. Big shout out to you all. And of course, 82 Monte Carlo. He
said, gang. Appreciate you. That's awesome.
Well, Shit.
Man, Jack is just opening his wallet tonight. Another 20. Love it. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Chat from 82 Monte Carlo, man. Big dubs for one time for the fan. Hey, man, I'm telling y'all, this season is gonna be great. Draft night is gonna be great. Man, I can't thank y'all so much, man. Carrie, we're gonna shut the show down now. I already know what's gonna happen. We stay on here another hour and a half, 2 hours. We're gonna goddamn get into draft
We'll
night.
be back Friday and Sunday, guys. So
we're gonna do a mock and everything. But for fans here, come on back Friday morning, 9:30, breakfast with one time for the fan. Let's talk some more Falcons. Big shout out to Miss Carrie. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to everybody who's here just enjoying one time for the fan. T Will, former ATL Sports, probably setting up for his late night midnight show. And of course Bodie with Bodie's Best. He's doing great things. Content creators out there, continue doing what you guys are doing. Big shout out to my fam. Big shout out to my friends. Big shout out to my golf game that's going crazy right now. I ain't gonna lie. A couple years the way I'm playing right now, I might end up on the tour. Carrie, you might have to run the show coming up in a couple years because I'm gonna be playing out there in doggone.
I love
Valero and goddamn England, Scotland, and all that shit. Nah, but I love golf, man. It's a beautiful sport. What's he will say? He said we're gonna have to get a loan to keep up with the super chat.
Jack, he's opening his wallet tonight.
I mean, T-Will, I drove past the house you staying the other day, man. I think you got it, big dog. Sheesh. I was driving by. I said, "What Terry? Oh, this where Terry stay? God damn! Look at the driveway. Look at this shit. Damn, Bodie, you gonna need 2 more people to get that yard taken care of." Falcon fan, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. 82 Money Carlo, man, with the final super chat for the night. Gang, 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 gang.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Hey, draft night is going down. Please be here. Please be on time. Might even open up the show with a giveaway. But 9:30 Friday morning, breakfast with one time for the fan.
Good night. Peace.
See y'all later, y'all.